The global market reaction to President Trump's tariffs has been unlike anything we've seen in recent years. A staggering $3.5 trillion in market value was wiped out, with indices like the Dow Jones and FTSE 100 seeing significant declines.
Yeah, those numbers aren't just scary, they're catastrophic. It's like watching a mission go sideways, and you're losing assets left and right. Investors? They're pulling out, scared of more volatility.
Indeed, the so-called fear gauge, Wall Street's VIX index, has climbed sharply. It's a clear barometer of the unease among traders. And this volatility echoes previous crises like the one in 2008, events that were followed by recessions.
Okay, but here's where it really hits home. Look at agriculture, soybeans, pork. These tariffs are crushing farmers. Prices are up, demand's down. These are folks who can't just pivot, you know?
Yes, and this instability extends beyond agriculture. The tariffs have fundamentally disrupted supply chains, and the uncertainty acts as a deterrent for investment. Companies hesitate to innovate or expand under such conditions.
Right, and from a national security angle, Lee, this is where things get real dicey. You can't have a combat-ready country when your economy's in shambles. Disruptions like these ripple, they fracture alliances, weaken logistics. It's a big, big deal.
That is a valid point. Economic destabilization, particularly in strategic sectors, may compromise national resilience. Tariffs intended to bolster domestic industries can instead reduce competitive advantage.
Exactly. You hit farmers, you hit manufacturing. What's next? Defense contractors? You've got to think tactically, plan for the long game.
And yet, addressing long-term consequences requires careful balance. The markets, for instance, have not yet priced in a full-scale trade war. Financial observers worry that further escalation could decimate global investment confidence even beyond this $3.5 trillion loss.
Yeah, and just imagine what happens when allies start pulling their weight out too. We can't operate from a weakened position. That's a tactical no-go. We're headed into uncharted territory here, sir.
It appears that we have entered the storm, a moment not unlike previous pivotal shifts in global economic systems. The repercussions, which extend to geopolitics, undoubtedly set the stage for further instability. And as we look at the specific effects of this instability, the Wu market in China, which is the world's largest wholesale hub, has reported a dramatic 70% decline in orders from American buyers. Such stark numbers reflect the deepening rift in US-China trade relations. Compounding the economic damage, there's a notable rise in anti-American sentiment in China, with boycott campaigns targeting American goods gaining momentum.
Boycotts, huh? That's not just about goods. Lee, that's strategy. When sentiment against the U.S. fires up like this, it shows how deep the rift is. That's people saying, we're not going to play by your rules anymore.
Exactly. These moves signal a shift beyond just economic tension. It's a geopolitical realignment. Historically, we've seen trade frictions shape alliances. Recall the Cold War. Trade blocs played a critical role in consolidating power and influence. What we're witnessing now could echo those dynamics in a modern context.
Yeah, but then there's Australia, front and center in all this, and refusing to join China's move against us. They turned Beijing down cold and said, we're going to diversify instead. Smart play. Markets like India, Southeast Asia, that's where their sights are fixed now.
Indeed. That decision reflects Australia's cautious approach. Their lack of strategic trust in China stems from past economic spats, such as Beijing's punitive actions 5 years ago. Diversifying their trade portfolio allows them to mitigate dependence on both the US and China, emphasizing smaller but emerging markets.
And that counts as a tactical pivot, Lee. They're hedging their bets, saying we're not going to be dragged into anyone's game. Makes sense for them. But for us, man, those fractures matter. Allies like Australia stepping back could complicate things. You need a team when you're in the field, not just lone players ducking for cover.
True. And this era of selective alliances, where countries navigate between great powers, resembles unsteady footing. It's a stark divergence from the predictability of the post-Cold War order. We see a recalibration of strategies. Economic interdependence, once a stabilizing force, is now a vulnerability for many nations.
You're right. It's like a field op where the map keeps changing, and no one knows if the next step's safe or a landmine. Just more chaos on chaos.
This unfolding reality underscores the challenges of modern geopolitics. The reaction to US tariffs, from boycotts in China to hedging by Australia, reflects a world grappling with uncertainty. We are left to ask, are we nearing a tipping point in global trade, akin to pivotal shifts of the past?
Well, one thing's for sure, no easy answers here. But man, it's been good pulling this apart with you. The stakes couldn't be higher. We'll see how it all plays out. But for now, let's call it. On that note, catch you all next time. Stay informed, folks.
Yes, until next time, the reverberations of these actions will undoubtedly shape the world ahead. Thank you for joining us.